Oil prices jumping after President Trump says China agreed to buy U.S. crude, but Beijing has not confirmed the purchases. CNBC's reached out to Chinese authorities for comment, but has not received a response. Brian Sullivan joins us now from a man might have some answers, Energy Secretary Chris Wright. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Joe and Andrew, good morning. That's right. We are with Secretary Chris Wright, as you said, the U.S. Energy Secretary. We are here at Golden Pass, which is ExxonMobil and Qatar Energy's massive new LNG facility in Port Arthur, Texas. Really a first look. I think we are the first media that has been invited in this brand new facility. The first cargo of LNG just left a couple of weeks ago. And I guess we have to thank you because you got us in the door. So, Mr. Secretary, thank you very much.
Oh, thrilled to be here. These are the kind of energy facilities that are fantastic for America and that power the world.
A couple thousand employees here building out all the trains, the export quantities, not what they are going to be, but they will be soon. I want to ask you, Joe just had some headlines here before we came out of the commercial break, which is basically that China may have agreed to buy U.S. oil. What can you tell us about the China meetings and China's energy purchases from the United States?
Yeah, I mean, 20 years ago, we were the largest importer of oil and natural gas in the world, and today China is the largest importer of oil and natural gas in the world. So there's a natural energy trade there. We've sold them, you know, ethane for petrochemicals and oil on and off through the years, and I suspect we'll see a growth in their oil imports from the United States.
So you think, you said suspect, but you think they will be a larger buyer? We know they're a huge buyer of U.S. LNG, or at least Taiwan, South Korea, and Japan are. China as well. You think they'll be a bigger buyer of U.S. crude oil?
I do think they will. There's huge interest in Asian buyers for more oil out of Alaska as well. You know, now our oil goes out of the Gulf of Mexico. We'll see more of that going over to China. But in the not too distant future, we're going to see more oil coming out of Alaska that's going to supply our neighbors and friends in Asia as well.
You know, speaking of oil, there's been, I don't want to say confusion about oil. It's the wrong term. But when you look at some of the inventory data, when you look at Hormuz, when you look at all the flows of oil, a lot of really smart people have said we're going to be at 150, 175, $200 a barrel for oil. We're higher than we were. We're at 100 and change for oil. Do you know why oil prices have not moved even higher than they are? Can you help shed some light on the state of the oil market right now?
Yeah, I think a good chunk of that is President Trump's energy dominance agenda. The world knows he's all in growing supply. The United States is going to grow our supply of crude oil and refined products. So while we have a temporary interruption, and it's a meaningful interruption, but to end Iran's threat of getting a nuclear weapon, that would be decades of threat to global energy markets, to peace and prosperity in the world. So President Trump's willing to lean in there. Yes, it's disruptive in the short term, but to end their ability to get a nuclear weapon and have the U.S. continue to grow our production and supply, I think people realize this is not a new world. This is a bump on the road, and we'll get through it.
You said short term. Should the world get prepared for maybe a longer supply disruption than some initially suspected? Because give us your view on where we stand in the Strait of Hormuz right now, if you would, Mr. Secretary. And also, what are your estimations about how long things might take to return to normal? And I hate that term, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, but a lot of that's up to Iran. One way or the other, we will see an end to the Iranian nuclear program, and we will see free flow of traffic through the Straits of Hormuz. That could happen relatively rapidly with an agreement with Iran. Every nation in the world is standing against what Iran is doing, including China, who's a major buyer of Iranian oil and other oil from the Arabian Gulf.
Do you think they'll swap that out for U.S. oil? It's kind of what I asked you at the top of the interview.
Yeah, certainly in the short run, they're going to do that. They'll continue to buy, and I think, growing amounts of U.S. oil. But ultimately, the world needs to get the Persian Gulf open. Iran's attempt to hold the whole world hostage, people know it's temporary. We sent 3 United States Navy destroyers through it. We escorted some tankers out. That's not the ideal way to do it, but if forced to do it, that's how we'll do it. I think at the end of the day, you're going to see the Iranian regime under such intense economic pressure and global pressure that they'll back off this nonsense. Right now, they're terrorizing the planet.
The UAE announcing this morning, guys, that they're going to basically double their pipeline capacity around the Strait of Hormuz. The UAE is kind of a peninsula that comes out in this pipeline. They have one that goes across. They want to now build a second one. They just announced that this morning. We've seen Saudi Arabia go full flow to the Red Sea with their port of Yanbu. Do you think that the Strait of Hormuz and the Arabian Gulf are going to become permanently less important? They're still massively important, but less important than they have been? Oh,
absolutely. I mean, Iran, this is a card you can play once. You can play once. We'll see more pipeline capacity through Saudi, through UAE. You know, there's an Iraqi pipeline that goes to Ceyhan in Turkey. We could see a pipeline going to Jordan. There'll be other routes for energy to get out of the Persian Gulf. I prefer to call it the Arabian Gulf. Yeah. But yeah, I think we will see a decreasing importance from the Strait of Hormuz, but not a decreasing importance of those nations' energy production and energy supply. Yeah. They're great allies of the United States. They're key energy suppliers to the world. And we need to see prosperity, peace, and economic growth returning to that region.